Statement number one, Mr. Ben.
The United States should not pretend to be a neutral broker between Russia and Ukraine.
Well, technically speaking, it's actually not pretending to be a neutral broker. It's very openly pro-Russia at this point. It's definitely not pretending to be a neutral broker. And if it is, nobody buys it. Nobody buys it considering that Trump has been pushing. When it comes to the negotiation of peace, two things have been at the forefront. One is to pressure Ukraine to give in to Russia's demands. And two is to build a business framework between the US and Russia.
Another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. No filter, I got no filter, no filter.
Oil. I think Russia has 10% of all Earth's rare minerals, but it's not very good at extraction and refinement of those minerals. And this is where Trump wants to step in and say, we're going to provide technology, we're going to provide all the necessary tools that you need to refine and to extract those minerals. And that is actually what Trump wants from the peace plan. He does not care about the war, he does not care about the peace. Those things are actually obstacles to the goal.
We have a very strong, yes, there's massive corruption in Ukraine. Also, there's massive corruption in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia, in a wide variety of nations that the Trump administration has quite warm relations with.
Yeah, actually, it's part of the Trump document that no matter how countries are run, no matter what is happening domestically in countries, no matter what system of governance they have, we will have relations with them that are positive. Okay, we will not tell you how to run your country, was the line that Trump used, I think, with the Saudis. So, interestingly enough, that does not seem to apply to Ukraine. Ukraine seems to be this weird exemption from this. I wonder why.
The idea that we ought to play a neutral role with regard to the Russians, or that the Russians are about to flip and suddenly become a pro-American power, that is foolishness. It is absurd. It is not true.
True.
The Russians are adversarial to what they call Atlanticist interests, which is predominantly the United States. So in the national United States should not pretend to be a neutral.
So it's just Trump pretends not to see this because he thinks he can win with business as usual. We're all gonna make a lot of money and we're all gonna be friends now, which is not how that works because states are not businesses and statecraft is not profit making.
There are many Europeans on the right who would like to cut a separate piece with Russia. No, that would not be good for the United States if Russia somehow earns itself a gigantic chunk of Ukraine and another invasion of Ukraine in the next 5-10 years.
But if Ben Shapiro, how is it that Ben Shapiro understands this and so many people don't? I cannot believe this. I did not see this coming. I mean, Ben Shapiro has sort of been okay on Ukraine in the past, but I agree what he's saying here. Allowing Russia to get what it wants here now will just allow Russia to invade in the near future. Within a few years, they will just rebuild their economy thanks to the United States. The United States will personally rebuild their economy, make Russia stronger than ever. So, please tell me, why would Russia not take that opportunity to rearm, reorganize, and just conquer Ukraine at the nearest opportunity, especially since the peace plan, and this is very interesting, within the current framework of the peace plan, Ukraine will be receiving a type of Article 5 security guarantee. But the catch is that there is no legal enforcement of the Ukrainian Article 5. So that means that Ukraine can invoke its Article 5 thing, but everybody can say, no, we're not going to come to your aid because there's no legal enforcement. So basically the Ukrainian Article 5 is worthless, useless, and only sounds good on paper. No, it actually does not even sound good on paper. It's just shit. It's just bad. It's just a horrible, horrible mess.
The notion that we ought to be chiding the Europeans on their democracy, but not chiding, we should chide everybody, but chiding the Europeans and not chiding the Russians and pretending neutrality. I mean, I can see why the Russians are trying to expand their foothold in Ukraine. I mean, what guarantee could a United States that puts out that in the national security strategy give to the Ukrainians to get them to stop fighting?
I cannot believe that I'm agreeing with Ben Shapiro.
What guarantee could a United States that puts out that in the national security strategy give to the Ukrainians to get them to stop fighting? And what security guarantee would be
actually not much
trustable under those circumstances? You can see why Vladimir Zelensky, again, none of
Article 5 without legal enforcement. That is what is being put on the table.
this excuses the corruption inside the Zelensky regime in Ukraine. None of it. I asked Zelensky directly about corruption in Ukraine when I visited with him in Kyiv. You can watch the interview. But you can see why Zelensky is refusing to cede land to Russia.
Yeah, of course. No, but no sane leader would. No sane person at the no sane head of state would just agree to such territorial.
Trump will do the right thing with regard to Ukraine because there's one thing he
demands.
doesn't want, which is the perception of American weakness, including, for example, Russian troops strolling through Kyiv because of a cut-and-run strategy in Ukraine. I will say that the disproportionate focus put on Ukrainian corruption sitting in Qatar, one of the most corrupt states on planet Earth, Trump will do the right thing with regard to.
Yeah. I cannot believe that I'm in so much agreement with Ben Shapiro of all people. The person that I'm always in disagreement with. But that just speaks to just how bad the situation is. To just how bad the new national security strategy is. Well, the Congress has its own national security strategy, which does not exactly gel with Trump's, but what I'm saying is that Trump's national security strategy is very bad. Actually, he does not even care about national security. He cares about making money for him and his family. His family's, in accordance to this peace plan that is being discussed, Trump's family would make a lot of money. His son-in-law would make a lot of money. His buddies would make a lot of money. Everybody would just come out of it richer, except for Ukraine. And of course, it would severely hamper and undermine Europe's security. But then again, Trump does not care about Europe. Trump cares about selected nation states within Europe. But the European Union is not something that interests Donald Trump. Well, actually, that's not true even. The European Union does interest Trump in as far as he wants to dismantle it. And even Ben Shapiro has noted this, that the European democracies are being scrutinized, but somehow Russia's democracy is not being scrutinized. Saudi Arabia's democracy is not being scrutinized. Qatar's is just ridiculous. Okay? I don't know how else to describe it apart from ridiculous. Sickening. Okay? Sickeningly ridiculous. But it is what it is.